Lightroom has an awesome new feature, and I wanna show it to you because I think some people are gonna use this feature for the wrong purposes, but I have the perfect photo to demonstrate exactly how to use this new feature. So if you take a look, this photo was shot a few weeks ago. You know, I went to Zion National Park with Will and Mike to shoot some epic astrophotography. This is actually part of a larger sequence that I haven't fully edited yet. It's actually a time-lapse star trail photo. So if you wanna see, I don't know, the behind the scenes of how I'm putting that together, let me know down in the comments below. But take a look at the exposure time for this photo. So this is a 540-second long exposure. That's about 9 minutes of having my camera set up in bulb mode, but also take a look at the ISO. It was shot at ISO 800. Now, why that matters is because typically you wouldn't expect to get too much noise at ISO 800. Maybe at 6400 or 12,000 or one of those super high values that you would use if you were shooting in low light. But in this case, it's ISO 800, and if we zoom in, you will see that there is some noise, but it's not your traditional grain. It's actually this colored hot pixel noise. And basically what it is because the sensor is exposing for so long, it actually produces these inconsistencies where some of the pixels in your sensor read a little bit hotter or have a little bit higher of an output. And so you get all of this, you know, these little colored dots, and some of them are worse than others, but there is a way to reduce it. Now, if I tried to go in and do it the manual way using the old manual noise reduction, you know, I can drag that thing as far as it will go, and it kind of just makes everything look mushy. You know, I can maybe play with the smoothness and try to bring back some of the detail, but it almost looks like birthday cake ice cream or something, like little confetti pieces in my image. It's definitely not doing the effect that I would want it to do. So I'm gonna reset that. We're gonna go back to the default noise reduction settings. Now, this photo I've kind of already edited. So if I scroll up, you can see I've applied some base adjustments for the white balance and the highlights and the shadows, and even applied a little bit of a tone curve. So I'm just gonna hit the denoise. It opens up this brand new dialog box where it allows you to select how much you want to denoise, because it is not just a regular luminance reduction, it is an AI smart denoise. So it's supposed to do a little bit of a better job with retaining the details. In the dialog box, you can see it gives us a preview. So if I hold, you can see the before, we have all that, you know, that confetti cake. And if I let go, it actually does a really good job of cleaning all those individual pieces. Now, you've probably seen other AI noise reduction software advertised online. You know, you can use it on your landscape photos and your wildlife photos to make them look ultra sharp. But I think a lot of us fall into the trap of thinking that somehow the AI noise reduction will just make our photos look better, when in reality, ISO noise and grain it's okay. It's okay to have in your image if you're shooting low light photography, or if you've pushed all of your other settings and you need to crank your ISO. That's just a natural part of taking a photo. Where I think AI noise reduction is super handy is in a really unique case like this, where we want to remove it, and if we tried to do all those hot pixels individually, either we'd have to get some sort of specialized software, or I don't know, spend a whole lot of time in Photoshop. So I'm gonna leave this at the default value, and I'm just gonna let it run. On the surface, the finished image doesn't look too different. And actually, if you take a look at all of our sliders, it's actually retained all of that. So it's not like when you do, you know, the edit in Photoshop function where it kind of just burns everything into that TIFF. It actually retains all of the edits that you've done and creates a duplicate of your raw file that you can now process further. If we take a look at the base image on the left and the one where we've applied the AI noise reduction on the right, this is where you can really notice the difference. So if I zoom in, you can see, you know, there's this patch of dirt here. It's cleaned it up amazingly, just as we would expect it to do if we had applied the regular luminance noise reduction. Same thing with the mountain. It's kind of done a good job, and I'd say make the photo look even better than it was than when we shot it. But the big difference is gonna be in these shadows down here. So where we were before seeing all this, basically all the rainbow birthday cake confetti, it's pretty much reduced all of them except for some of these big ones, which is understandable because once you get to that pixels that are that large, it probably thinks it's like, oh, someone with a little flashlight hiding in the canyon shining a flashlight at me. So, you could go in and manually remove those. If you want to see me process this whole time-lapse crazy photo in depth, let me know down in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, I'm gonna try to get back to doing more Lightroom tutorials because I have a ton of photos that I wanna share with you and walk through the editing process. Or if you're looking to get started with your editing, you can check out any of these videos here, or if you wanna pick up presets for yourself, I do have those available down in the description below. And until the next one, go shoot some photos.